Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with selections for Sunday the 29th of January. But first, a quick apology. Well, Saturday's selections were absolutely awful. Don't get me wrong. There was some that ran quite well. There was some that were given absolute stinkers of a ride, and there was also one that was even that actually whipped round at the start. So when that starts happening, you know you've got no chance. Well, there was a few where they actually ran how I thought they would do, but just didn't quite make the frame. First of all, you've got History Beer or History Bear. I don't know if if you haven't seen it, you need to watch it. That's one for probably for the Cheltenham Festival. Only for one of the handicaps. It was virtually last throughout. Bumped along. It's like the jockeys forgot they were at 3 out. It was virtually tailed off. Absolutely flew and finished fifth, I think it was. 25-1 in the end. You've got was it called? I can't remember what the name is now. The one it returned at 6-1. They paid out the first four and it came fifth. Bearing in mind, I think it was given an okay ride. It just totally outpaced and flew towards the finish. If you remember, it was the horse that I said ran against Pied Piper last year, and if it reproduced that form, could sneak a place. Well, it came fifth, only paid out on the first four, and that was 66-1. And yeah, so there was a few others that ran okay. We had a few non-runners, but ultimately it was about £55 on and about £4 back. So as I said, I apologise for Saturday. It's been absolutely garbage. It has been for the last few weeks, but we've had good days, so we need to get back on track. So I'm having a bet on Sunday. I shall also have a bet on Monday, and then I shall be back into probably the Friday again. So let's get into it. Let's not be too downhearted. Don't get wrong, we're all like licking his wounds, but let's get into it. So it's a 50 pence each way Trixie and a 50 pence each way treble. The first selection is Midnight Shuffle at 14-1 in the 12.50 at Sedgefield. This horse ran okay at Catterick when it led. It was its first time over hurdles, and previously it had ran pretty well, I believe, in a point-to-point and also a national flat race. I think the distance was too short for it. It was 1 mile 7.5 furlong, and normally these national flat types and pointers, a lot of them will actually get raced over 2 mile, then step it up when it comes to handicaps. Well, they've already stepped this horse up, and I think it's more than capable of definitely threatening the first three. Not the favourite. One of the more fancied horses, Nell's Bells, right? It achieved 90 racing post rating of 98. I don't believe that is enough to win this race because it now carries a penalty, and it didn't achieve a great deal in that race. The actual favourite of the day, I can't remember what it is now. It's whatever it is. Yeah, it's the current favourite anyway. That is for me the biggest danger. But we've got first three to go at. 14-1's a decent price, and I think it could shorten. And there's egg potentially on my face straight away when it returns 50s. But yeah, that's just how things are going. But no, I do think 14s is a decent price. So the second selection is Cash Again in the 125 at Sedgefield, paying 4 places instead of 3. This one ran a cracker last time when I actually tipped up. I think it was is it Tommy Breen, the favourite? Well, I tipped that horse to win last time, Tommy Breen, and it did. And Cash Again, in my opinion, it should have finished a lot closer than what it did to it. I think it got caught flat-footed. It was making progress, and I think because of the running at Sedgefield, you've got to be relatively handy or looking to press round that final bend over the chase fence as well. Cash Again is currently 9-2. I think personally it could be a bigger price than that on day. That's why I've left it to SP. I definitely think it's got a decent chance. And finally, Redbridge Rambler in the 225 at Southwell. This horse, it's by Martin. Well, it's not by Martin Keeley. It's trained by Martin Keeley. He had a winner at Cheltenham today. That makes no difference whatsoever. That one was called Back on the Lash. It's an ex-pointer, and I think there's doubts over the more fancied horses. And I think the 225 at Sedgefield, 14-1, 1 mile 7.5 furlong. It was 1 mile 7.5 furlong. And it didn't achieve a great deal in that race. once again, I've left it to SP, and I've been looking at the breeding, and a lot of the breeding from the dam and the sire was Marler, and the dam was Entertain Me. Both liked quick ground. Well, it's good ground at Southwell tomorrow, and I honestly think that there'll be a lot of horses that aren't favoured by this ground, or actually, yeah, the chance will be detrimental because of the ground. So I think it's definitely interesting. We don't know much about it because it's only run prominently in a point to point so far, but it was bought for 60 grand out of that point. So definitely worth keeping an eye on. And I've left it to SP because it could drift. So those are the 3 horses for Saturday. Midnight Shuffle, Cash Again, and Redbridge Rambler. 50 pence each way Trixie, 50 pence each way Treble. So the very best of luck. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.